somebody in the house say TP!
Ponder, where are you?
Hey DJ! What?
Where did you come from? Why is there a hole in my wall? And
hey DJ!
why are you beatboxing?
Oh, bitches on the right say Sonic Boom!
You're not even listening, are you?
Oh, cuties in the co-op go MasterTP10!
Alright. Keep
Hey
doing
DJ!
what you're doing.
What?
What?
Oh, Supersonicward's up 15 points of sense for double drilling!
I give up.
So the short of things, I'm Panda Sprocket, he's TP.
Hello.
That's Sonicward, that's Blasty, and that's a Nostalgia Critic fan. Everything is horrible and we should all feel bad. We good?
No?
Cool, we good.
No, wait, no?
Wait a second, Sonicward semi-disowned this video, didn't he? TP, why didn't you remind me that's kind of an important detail?
Do you care?
No.
Oh look, a new commentator. Okay, what's his name? The Blast Zone Boy. Okay, the Blast Zone Boy. Okay, let me go ahead and check out your commentary.
Drop the repeats.
Hey, if you don't mind me pointing this out, the Blast Zone Boy, okay, was just repeated word for word. If that's not an omen for the death of the English language, then my partner doesn't have tits. Simple as that.
Boing boing, motherfuckers.
You just wasted 27 minutes of my—
It's funny because he wastes the same amount of word redacted.
Your cat? Your microphone? Your Naruto marathon? The cutoff joke doesn't work as well because you didn't cut yourself off in the middle of a word just before you finished the sentence. Now, I don't know if you did, but a good idea for these jokes is that you read the line as if you weren't going to cut yourself off, then only do so when you edited it all together. If you did, it probably would have been better if you cut yourself off during the middle of the last word. It comes off more natural this way. Maybe you could write this off as a nitpick, but jokes require timing to work. And if you can work on that, that will improve your ability as an entertainer.
Look.
Oh, I see we have another thing to work on. This actually might be the worst intro I've seen. This has a static background, zero keyframing, and absolutely no energy when compared to the music. Even with the one PNG of Fanart you used, you could have done something to make her move, as well as Blasty's icon. Maybe you could have given you and Blasty different backgrounds. I don't know, something that expresses some sort of effort. Ponder, you okay?
I'm good. Actually, from the other side of the intro coin, it's not like you can't achieve an effective minimal effort intro. I mean, my intro is just a death bell played over the mist of perdition with a Ponder Sprocket commentary in text. But you don't even manage that because in that case, you put too much on the screen. Pick a side!
I know first commentaries can be rough, but I'm just gonna give you some critiques, and I might sound a little bit harsh. You have been warned.
Boob zoom!
How many images from your porn folder did you use? I'm sorry, I don't think I'd put as much emphasis on it if the video you were covering wasn't two prepubescent children talking about kids anime.
These kids are going to see the commentary, accidentally pop a chub, and then not know why. You are inadvertently creating a fetish for commentaries being done on a person. Commentaries should not give you a hard-on. Unless they're mine.
By the way, I was going to use Raichu for this, but maybe next time.
I couldn't find enough porn pictures of Raichu!
I don't know. I mean, have you seen those stacks?
TP, why?
By the way, without a punchline, this clarification is padding. Why should I care that you didn't choose Raichu as an avatar? Hey, even a simple fuck you would have been suffice.
I was gonna be Raichu, but fuck you. See? It even rhymes.
Hey guys, look what I found in Narnia. Commentary material! But anyways, this is a Pokemon video by a guy called the Jedi Guy.
The what a guy?
By a guy called the Jedi Guy.
The Jedi guy?
The Jedi Guy.
The meta guy?
The Jedi Guy.
This other guy?
I dislike this guy. I'm subscribed to his crappy content, just so you know. And I hate this video. It's a Nostalgia Critic ripoff, so what can you expect? He makes some very invalid points. I literally just finished watching the video as I've recorded this. And oh boy, this video is abysmal. I cannot wait to cover this. So without further ado, let's begin.
Did you just say you just got finished watching his video? Are you saying that after you did that, you just decided to make the video? You don't know how bad that is. Now your video is going to be a mess because you rushed this out without even checking it again.
Literally all of my recent commentaries are made in this exact fashion. Get wrecked.
Do we encourage people to do this? Not really. It's clear that Blasty couldn't do this right with the little pauses we can get from this, plus Blasty's overall lack of experience by this point. However, if a single viewing can display enough of the issues that Blasty, or anyone else, wishes to cover, what problems are there really? At that point, it's simply a matter of how well the points stand. There are debatable issues with the practice, but Blasty's biggest concern here is the execution.
If you did check it again, then you should have worded yourself better because you said you just finished watching his video. By the way,
Shippuden design update equals different emotion. David Cage was wrong. It's not polygons. Clothes are emotions.
I'm going to be fast forwarding your intro. Quick heads up.
At this point, Sonicward plays the entirety of Blasty's intro, only sped up to 200% speed. Issue is, Blasty's intro played the entirety of the Seinfeld theme, and even at 200% speed, it still drags for a commentary opening.
Acknowledges that intro is too long. Doesn't realize that speeding up intro is still too long. You already said it was too long. Please skip. I hear enough Seinfeld when I look up Linkin Park memes.
Why would you...
I've become so numb, I can feel you there.
If I didn't speed this up, it was gonna hurt everybody who was watching this.
It still hurt.
Become so tired, so much more aware.
I'm aware that you said you forgot to shorten your intro, but you know something? I'm also aware that you make YouTube poops, but I'm going to let you know right now that commentaries are not YouTube poops. You can't just forget to shorten your intro.
Yes, you can. It doesn't justify the mistake, but yes, you can.
How is a long intro related to YouTube poops? Don't YouTube poops usually consist of a lot of editing? Also, her vagina is a Venus dick trap.
Why is there enough porn to use as an avatar set?
Now with YouTube poops, you can do whatever you want, I don't really care.
Which is exactly why you brought them up in the first place. Yep, totally necessary.
But you can't be lazy on your first commentary.
What are you talking about? One could say that this isn't laziness, but instead a lack of understanding of how to edit down a commentary video. I'm not saying the commentary is good, but for the age of the individual and the fact that they're new to this, I wouldn't classify them as being lazy.
And while we're talking laziness, look at your own intro. Don't worry, I guess we're okay once we get to like your 5th commentary or so.
Before I leave this topic, why does it feel like you're lying? Look, hear me out. The Seinfeld theme lasts for 53 seconds, and your intro lasts for 53 seconds. You know what I'm saying, right? What I'm saying is that your intro would have been dark halfway through. It feels like it was intentional, and you wanted to make the intro end at the same time as the music. Do you see why I said it feels like you're lying?
No, I don't see that. Why would half of his intro be dark if his intro and the Seinfeld theme are the same length? And what is Blasty supposed to be lying about?
Normally, the use of skip cards don't bother me. They describe what they're skipping or how long they skip. Hell, Sonicward, in the same commentary, does the latter later. Why do I point this out? Well, ignoring how that's lazy on your end, or maybe you just forgot, because in this instance, the thing Sonicward skipped was Blasty's own skip card. A skip card that, mind you, was shorter than Sonicward's. Did Blasty's skip card really justify its own skip card?
Maybe Sonicward really hates Wallace and Gromit.
That's a sin in and of itself.
Have you ever seen someone say the JPEG is real? I am a servant of one of those types of people. What I mean is, whenever I see a bad JPEG, I know I see a bad JPEG. This is one of the worst examples. You have put it in your stationary intro. You know you messed up when you put in your stationary intro.
Jeez, Sonicward, why are you commentating on this kid? Based on the repeats, he's your son.
Or daughter, not gonna bite. Progressivism! Also, stationary intro. Doesn't that sound familiar, eh, Sonicward?
For those who don't know what I mean by stationary intro, it's basically your main intro, but I'm not going on a bigger tangent over the fact that he used JPEGs. I mean, there's so many characters, and they're all crap. They're all crappy. They're all crappy in terms of crop. Can we please go to Disneyland now, Mommy?
You can go to Disneyland once you know how to set up your nitpicks correctly. Hey, Blast Zone Boy, let me handle this for you.
Daddy's gonna show you how it's done.
Nintendo guy, you freaking idiot.
That is the worst blowjob mouth I have ever seen in my life.
Also calling another kid an idiot. Fucking A+ parent.
I'll give you some credit. Your intro was short and it makes a lot of sense with your name.
Excuse me, Sonicward, did you not see the JPEGs?
Yeah, maybe if you overlook the image where Nintendo Guy showcases his face, name, and then a bunch of non-Nintendo characters, lots of sense!
Let's see, you have Patrick Star, a Mexican, the newest Kingdom Hearts protagonist, and hashtag not my Roderick. I don't know, those seem Nintendo and Family Guy related to me.
Which means you already know how to set up your intro. With your JPEGs on the other hand, or a hoof.
Ponder, I can't tell. Which one's the bigger issue? Acknowledging the existence of the JPEGs without realizing what the JPEGs were of, or the bro hoof?
Bro hoof.
Got it.
You basically slap on your favorite characters and you didn't even bother to fill in the background. This intro feels very outdated because later on in the video you're a bit older in the video, which can also state that you're lazy to make an updated intro.
You're making a note about someone being lazy and not updating their intro, when the main image for the intro itself looks like this.
A note that, by your own admission, was already a note that Blasty made, just quote-unquote set up correctly.
The Redundant Department of Redundancy would like to have a word with you.
Now, Blast Zone Boy, don't ever let me do your job again! Just for that, you're not even going to Disneyland!
You're grounded, mister!
You're going to Disney World, which is in Florida. That's way worse.
Hello, I'm the Nostalgia Critic guy.
No you're not.
First, ow! Do you know how to audio balance?
If it was so painful, why didn't you do a favor for your audience and balance it yourself? Like a nice dad.
Second, was there any reason for you to do that? And third, even if I can't watch the original video because the United States can't watch it, but the title is visible and it says fan-made, which can indicate that it's a fan-made video. And if you don't want to believe that he wants to be the nostalgia critic, well, I don't know what to say, man. I really don't know what to say. Deal with it?
The more ponies are inserted into this video, the more I want to fucking die. It's not even like I hate the show, it's just that they're slapped into this video with no regard to actually improving the quality.
Sure, there was a reason for him to fail at audio balancing. It's his first video. Not a good reason, but a reason. Also, what's wrong with someone not liking a person mimicking the style of another? Last time I checked, you're allowed to dislike that practice and critique someone's either use of it or choice to do it.
Now, whether Blasty does is another story, but that's not one you're willing to tell.
I'm really excited about what we're watching. Apparently, someone requested I watched a Pokemon anime. Let's see which one it is. I hope it's the X and Y one, 'cause that's so cool.
You know what? Thanks for skipping his long rant, but there's just one little problem with that. Why haven't you skipped it when you interrupted him by saying, "No, you're not"? You could have easily skipped it if you had nothing to say. Now you just wasted your viewers' time!
Truthfully, there's no real point to cut this part out. Blasty removes the rant on Sun and Moon, sure, but the part that they left in directly transitions into what they cut back to after the skip card. In case the porn wasn't blatant before.
And once again, all you do is skip the fucking skip card. It's even more egregious here since you already showed part of it. You skipped even less than before.
I don't think Sonicward knows what a skip card is used for.
What's with the ah? What even is this anime? And where the hell is Ash? I don't see him anywhere. Duh, can't you see, Louie? He's right there.
I have two answers for those questions. The first one, do you even Japanese, bro? And the second one, it's a Pokemon anime, not a Digimon or Yu-Gi-Oh anime. Wait, did I just say Yu-Gi-Oh? It's time to... Okay, I won't do that.
I don't know what to say anymore. Are you debating, or are you just too lazy that you can't even come up with a constructive argument? Just saying that it's a Pokemon anime doesn't debunk Nintendo Guy's point.
He wasn't actually debating. He literally says that he has answers to those two questions. Answering a question is not offering up an argument.
Sure, the answers don't really make sense given what the questions were, but you're still wrong.
Dude, please don't do this to me right now.
Based on what she's wearing, Hinata's asking for it, even if he isn't.
Don't be ridiculous. That's not Ash. Looks nothing like Ash.
Fun fact about the Sun and Moon anime. It's made by a different animation studio.
You seriously think that guy's Ash? In your dreams.
I'm Ash Ketchum. I came from Pallet Town in the Kanto region.
Wait. How did this...
Fun fact about the Sun and Moon anime. It's made by a different animation studio.
That's cool, man. Just turn up your volume and not touch his volume. That's totally how audio balancing works. And also, I know that this is the same voice clip you use, you lazy piece of...
Sonicward, what do you want from me?
If I can actually argue against the original source, Nintendo Guy, how are you surprised that a cap-wearing protagonist with a Pikachu in an anime isn't Ash? It's not like it's a separate continuity from the X and Y anime or something.
Also, Blasty, the anime being done by a different studio isn't actually an excuse. There's a term in the animation industry. On model basically means that the characters all look the way they're supposed to consistently, even if they're drawn by other people. Animators are trained to draw things on model, so if the original Ash model were used for this anime, there would be no difference in how Ash looks, despite the change in studios. I mean, unless the animators for Steven Universe were on the team, because hot damn. Sonicward, you have already touched on the audio balancing. Please find other things to pair your Hinata porn to.
Also, way to cut yourself off so I can Mad Libs again. So, piece of noun. What should I put for noun? I got it! Piece of dildo!
You know you could have waited until it got there for you to say animation studio. It's like you want to be repetitive. Wait a minute. Uh-oh.
It was at that moment that Sonicward realized he had a kid. Curses! How could he have known that poking a hole in a condom was a bad thing?
What? Pokemon XYZ was probably one of the greatest animes we've got in a long time.
I hope you're just referring to Pokemon. In the past while, we've had, what? One Punch Man, My Hero Academia, Little Witch Academia, Dragon Ball Super, Erased, Mob Psycho 100.
Maho Tsukai no Yome, shut up, I'm monster trash.
That. Point is, the Pokemon XYZ anime wasn't the best anime we've gotten in a while, unless you were referring to some standard that we never hear, but we never hear it. Oops.
Did you just mispronounce anime? This will bite you in the bum later, because you pronounce it right as soon as you pronounce it wrong.
This is not how biting you in the butt works. Please stop.
What?
Does it matter? I guess it does, because you don't want people to mispronounce anime. That's such a huge problem, am I right? Also, you do realize that both of you guys speak a different language, right? So basically, your argument is invalid.
But they're both speaking English. It's pretty evident that they're both speaking the same exact language. Maybe different dialects, but apart from both having English accents, that's still English.
Even if that were the case, a Nintendo guy did naturally speak another language. What does that matter when he's pronouncing anime both correct and incorrectly? Either way, he showcases that he's capable of pronouncing it correctly.
English, motherfucker, do you understand it?
Say what again?
But why make a bad anime after such a success? Well, I'll tell you why. Guys, Pokemon XYZ was so successful. Why don't we make a crappy anime and give Disney the rights?
Disney was given the distribution rights, dubbing still done by the Pokemon Company, the same ones that did the XYZ anime. Furthermore, this is implying that anyone wanted to make a bad anime after a good one. Just because it might have turned out bad doesn't make it their intention.
I love how this was a commentary on Sonic Ward and it's turned into a commentary on all three of them. TP, you owe me payment for 2 more commentary subjects.
I'll send you the sacrifices later.
Oh yes, that'll be a marvelous idea! Everyone's gonna hate us and we'll have no job. But that's how I like life.
When I was only starting primary school, which I'm still in primary school, I'm a cool kid on the internet.
Oh, not even a teenager yet.
And Sonic Ward's still using porn.
Pokemon Black and White aired on Disney XD, so Disney had the rights for a bit. From as far as I can tell, it aired on Disney, so I don't see what tangent you're going on. Oh, let me guess, you're going to say that Black and White was a bad anime. Oh wait, nobody cares about that anime at all. Oopsie daisy.
You know what's funny? Pokemon Black and White, or as the Japanese calls it, Best Wishes, can be considered one of the worst series in the Pokemon anime because of Ash's downgrade of a trainer.
Why is this relevant?
We just got done hearing Blasty state that no one cares for it, implying exactly what you just said. The difference is, in the context of what Blasty was saying, by Nintendo guy's logic, the anime would be bad solely based on Disney airing it.
And I know there's more to it, but right now this is the main problem with its continuity, so basically you're helping out Nintendo guy.
I legitimately have no idea what the hell Sonic Ward is talking about here. The most I can glean is that he's saying that Pokemon Black and White is bad because it screwed up Pokemon's continuity? Maybe?
Which it really doesn't, but still, I don't get how anything Blasty said helped out Nintendo guy's point.
You wanna know what else is funny? Pokemon Black and White never aired on Disney XD.
That's American airing. Blasty is British.
Actually, last I remember, Blasty is Irish, but details.
He might be wrong, but you are still not right.
Actually, Blasty's still right. In the United Kingdom, Pokemon aired on Disney XD since one of the Diamond and Pearl seasons. This confuses me with the original video, seeing as Nintendo guy has an accent reminiscent of a British one, but whatever. The point is, Disney airing Pokemon isn't that foreign of a concept.
Pokemon X and Y was premiered on Disney XD, so that means you could have easily debunked his argument, because he thinks that moving a Pokemon series to another channel will ruin it. By the way, you could have said that the Pokemon anime first started on 4Kids and then they moved it and it still has a large fan base. I feel like I'm doing your job again. Stop it!
Sonic Ward, capable of kind of doing a commentary better than a primary schooler.
Doesn't matter if you're doing Blasty's commentary better than Blasty. If anything, it's better that you're doing so, since, assuming you were right, it shows how much more Blasty could have done, as well as the original creator. He skips the skip Cardican, there's your fucking punchline.
So it just starts off with Ash and his puny face running around and running to school. Oh my god, I forgot Ash goes to school now. There are no gyms in the Alola region. So far this looks like an intro to a toddler playground theme. I mean, look what's going on in the other intro right now. Oh, look at that! There's a large training with his Mega Charizard, Sawyer with his Mega Sceptile.
You just came off stating that there were no gyms in Alola, thus implying that the Sun and Moon anime is conceptually different from the other Pokemon seasons, especially the XYZ anime. Furthermore, that was towards the end of the XY series, as the climax approached and so many things that were being hyped up for were about to reach their resolution. What I'm getting at is that the comparison you made is a hot mess, and one can like both for what they are.
Oh yeah, just so you know, all the stuttering was done by me.
What was the point of that? Tell me. This is what I mean earlier when I brought up repetitive. This guy will joke around without any real purposes in this commentary. He will waste your time with this repetitive bullcrap. Blast Zone Boy, you're making me mad right now. By the way, I'm going to be skipping a few arguments because they're just stupid.
Shouldn't the fact that what you're skipping is quote-unquote stupid be more of a reason to cover it?
Also, why is joking around a bad thing? Is it because it was random? Random humor can still be funny if it has a punchline.
Don't stop, never give up, hold your head high and reach the top.
Did you like riding on a shark that could have eaten you?
Not really. What's there to say? It's just like GTA. But sharks!
Now, I really like that idea. The harder you press the button, the faster you swim. It's almost like the shooting mechanics in Metal Gear Solid 2. But with sharks!
Why hello there, obvious joke taken from Kid Icarus, but with none of the flair he had. How are you?
It's just like a commentary video, but with plagiarism!
Great editing skills, man. Now can you argue, please? Because you're wasting my time here. This video is 27 minutes and all I see is you trying to be a comedian.
It's almost like commentaries are also meant to be a form of entertainment.
This video is 26.5 minutes and all I see is you pointing out the length of the commentary and nitpicking to try and fill a quota.
Wow. The Nintendo guy who's reviewing the Pokemon Sun and Moon anime is really funny because I guess he tries to be someone he's not.
How is that supposed to be funny? Plus the implications are fucking awful. You're telling me I'd be a funny man if I was pretending to be someone I'm not, which in my case would be a funny man.
Maybe Sonicward should be pretending to be a good commentator.
I want to watch his stuff now. Oh wait, I gotta finish this commentary.
You don't have to, you just chose to. Fucking breaks are a thing, man.
GTA 5, but with sharks. Really?
It's just like GTA. But with sharks! It's just like GTA. But with sharks! It's just like GTA. It's just like GTA. It's just like GTA.
Sonicward is not trying to be someone he's not. I get it.
Man, it was super fun. That's great. Come back again soon.
I really want to see you die.
The torpedo was wearing Pokeride gear, which very much implies it was trained. It was staying still on the docks, and I'm hoping you know this now, but not every shark or shark substitute is Jaws.
Right.
Again, what a quality piece of script. And then she said, come back again soon. And then he said, this is a really cool script.
1, it's called a transition, and B, Executor can't even talk to you. No Pokemon can. Have you done your research, Peep? Because I feel like eating you like a peep. I've never tasted a peep in my life, so fight me.
Whatever you say, man. I guess Meow from Team Rocket can't talk to humans with the same language. Yeah, let's forget about that. Let's also forget about some Pokemons can telepathically talk to you. Yeah, let's forget about that too. Did you do any research at all?
Telepathy isn't technically talking. A Pokemon doesn't need to understand English to communicate telepathically. It's more like communicating a thought to a person. It's just that the person the thought is being relayed to perceives it as the language they speak. I mean, people can interpret the notion of telepathy differently in different stories, but since Pokemon cannot actually communicate in English, but are clearly, as evidenced by Meowth, capable of learning the language, I think it's safe to say that this is the interpretation that the Pokemon mythos goes by.
Furthermore, while this is technically not wrong, it's still missing the main point. Nintendo Guy was getting at the episode due to Executor speaking its name, emphasized by criticizing it as part of the script. However, Pokemon has consistently had the main creatures the show is named after only speak their own names or various grunts. Sure, there are exceptions, such as Meowth, but this has been the case since day one. Hell, the XYZ anime is guilty of this as well. Blasty is wrong for saying no Pokemon talks like humans, but this isn't necessarily a case of no research.
I guess this is what happens when you rush your commentaries. I did a commentary on the Foxton who rushes her stuff. Like, for real, it was terrible.
10 out of 10 would bleach again.
I wonder what Ash's mum thinks of the new anime.
It's so refreshing.
Oh, really? You think that's refreshing, do you?
She was referring to your drink, not to your rhetorical, and even then, considering the anime was taking a different approach than from the rest of the series, one could argue that it's refreshing to see Pokemon go in a direction it hasn't gone in before. I'm sorry, did I say that out loud?
Well, tell me, is this refreshing?
Why yes, that is quite refreshing, thank you very much.
TP's trying to steal Heaton Mitsuru's husbando!
That was my waifu first, fuck you, Heaton.
It's so refreshing.
That was rhetorical, you idiot! Prepare to die!
Two things. One, was that B-movie gun? It's too uncanny to notice. And B, horrible script writing. How do you even get away with this?
I got two things for you too. One, is it really necessary to know what type of toy gun he has? And if you were joking, that was so vague I took you seriously.
Well, that's just because you're an idiot.
The joke doesn't really work since B-movie didn't have guns that resembled that, but it's not dumb out of vagueness.
And two, can you explain why this is horrible script writing? You can't just say that and get away with it. Explain your points, man. I'm not going to do this for you.
I'll give you this point, but it's not exactly inspiring confidence that your best point so far amounts to explain.
There are only so many times you can say explain and not have us laugh at you.
Why do you even bother? It's just an everyday ranter. At least that's what you label him to be. And also, of course he's gonna be ranting because he's trying to make a fan-made version of how the Nostalgia Critic acts.
Why does that inherently require ranting? I thought the Nostalgia Critic was a reviewer.
Plus, and forgive me if I take this the wrong way, but this point feels like you getting onto Blasty for skipping parts you didn't feel like covering. Even though you did the exact same thing earlier with the points you outright claimed to be stupid. Good job.
Fucking. Why does that inherently require fucking?
Does it look like he's okay? He's just been trampled on by a load of bull Pokemon. It's just like saying, are you wearing a hat?
I don't know if you ever heard of this, but those bulls are called Tauros. I don't know if you heard of them.
Tauros are classified as the wild bull Pokemon. The guy referring to them as bull Pokemon isn't wrong. Also, you're missing a much bigger point against your target. Lily went, are you okay? Because it's proper etiquette. When someone asks you if you're okay, one responds according to the help they may or may not need, regardless of the actual amount.
TP, I'm going to help you.
I don't need help, though.
I will help you and you will like it, you fuck!
Why? You didn't even ask if I was okay.
Everybody has a nurse kink.
You know what? You caught me, Sheriff. Or Nurse. Or Octomom.
Also, I have a joke idea. Roll it! All around me are familiar faces. Worn out faces. Worn out faces. All around me are familiar faces. Okay, I'll just stop.
You see what I mean, people? Repetitive shit. Also, dude, you're taking this dude too seriously.
Oh, so you can properly time cutoff jokes. Why didn't we have this at the beginning of the commentary? Also, how is this repetitive?
Because he's singing the same lyrics. TP, do you not understand repetition?
Do you think that's what Sonic Word meant, though?
No.
And hey, if the lyrics were what you meant, don't blame me, blame your awkward wording.
All he said was bull Pokemon. Does he really need to be that specific? Especially when he's doing a similar style to the Nostalgia Critic? You know I could just put those words right back into your mouth, right?
Daddy, no!
Has anyone else noticed how the 2 or so times he skipped more than a single skip card, he's actually shown the timestamps he's skipping to and from?
Yeah, weird how that works. One would almost swear he knew what he was doing was dumb.
That he's not important is not worth that much.
Check it out!
This is showing us that every single Pokemon that has come here has died and turned into skeletons.
You know, all 3 Pokemon.
Oh, the horror! The Poke horror!
Oh gee, I don't know what they are. Maybe they're fossil Pokemon. Specifically these 3. Seriously, if you are a die-hard Pokemon fan, you should actually know what these are classified as.
Since I guess everyone else won't, I will. The fossil Pokemon are Aerodactyl, Aurorus, and Rampardos. You know, for all the time Sonic Ward has called you lazy, Blasty, This is probably the first time I can accurately say you were. Even without pictures, you could have at least given names.
I don't care if you're trying to copy the nostalgia critic's humor. You're failing miserably. Just because he complains a lot doesn't mean you have to.
I'm glad you know that he was copying the nostalgia critic, but too bad the joke flew right over your head. The joke he stated was that when Pokemon comes here, they'll turn into skeletons. How much time do I have left? Really? You better appreciate this commentary, you freaky
You'd better be appreciating all that Hinata porn.
No. Ash, you finally made it.
Why didn't she say that in an angry voice? He literally just left her. She should be saying this. Ash, where the hell have you been? I've been searching for you everywhere. You could have died. Do you realize how worried I am?
Ash has been traveling without her for 19 seasons. This is far from new to her. Hell, in this particular context, he was exploring the school grounds, so he wasn't even going that far.
Side tangent, the girl with the green hair beside Ash, Mallow, she's supposed to be somewhere between 11 and 19 years of age. So she's either, if you're attracted to this, you're a pedo, or perfectly legal. Thanks, Japan.
It's my mom.
Yes, it's your mother, and you are grounded, young man.
All around me are familiar faces, worn out faces. God, Jesus Christ, how dare you cut me off?
Christ alive, say what you will about my audio balancing, I refuse to believe that this is any better.
Did you just do all of that for a joke? I would rather watch this kid
What's with the addy
than this kid.
Roll it! All around me are familiar faces, worn out faces, worn out faces.
Because at least the Nintendo guy is not being repetitive with a specific joke.
I feel like it's really obvious that Blasty is making a joke that Nintendo guy's joke about Ash's mom being mad and whatever are bad. Like, is that just me?
And also, this dude is good at what he does.
That's the best joke in the entire video.
Too bad I can't watch his original video because it's blocked in certain countries.
Then move.
Yeah, you got legs for a reason, bitch! And it's not so you can strut your stuff.
Also, some sites, such as Tube Offline, can allow for certain videos to be downloaded even if they're blocked in certain countries. So if you really enjoyed Nintendo Guy's video, somehow, there you go.
This is so good.
You can even say refreshing.
Freaking ear rape, man. And also, you made me miss the best joke ever.
I dub this ear rape by proxy. You will be hearing from my lawyer.
Also, coming from someone who also thinks that was the best joke in the original video, if mostly because it was a half-decent callback to an earlier joke, you have some ridiculously low standards if that's the best joke ever.
How did Ash know what he was saying?
I remember a Disney movie teaching me a very important lesson. Don't underestimate the importance of
Body language!
If you even watch the Pokemon movies, Ash could translate some Pokemon's movements in their mouth. Because telepathy!
Movement does not relate to telepathy. In this context, it only relates to
Body language!
Also, Ash had no special translating powers or anything. In the movies, Ash was no more special in understanding Pokemon than anyone else around him.
Wouldn't that be a twist, though? Ash had telepathy the entire series.
There you go, man.
This is why bronies are becoming an endangered species.
And you contradicted yourself. I bet you're wondering why I said that. Well, remember earlier when you said this?
Executor can't even talk to you. No Pokemon can. Have you done your research, Peep?
And you better not use the argument that Ash is the main character. It was poor wording and you know it.
But telepathy still isn't talking!
Telepathy is definitely communicating, but then again, so is regular Pokemon speak. It's just that we can understand it.
And it just happened to be the right size of your arm.
From what I can tell, all Pokemon trainers that own a Z-Ring in Pokemon Moon have a Z-Ring that matched their arm size.
Pokemon Sun players didn't get that privilege.
I mean, if you see some older trainers.
You know you can't make up a story like this, man. You know it's bullcrap.
Sure, let's just interrupt Blasty and not explain why the thing he's explaining may or may not be wrong. Let's just say, stop making excuses, this is garbage!
Don't you know? You have to explain your points, Sonic Ward.
Explain!
Alright, so before I get to my final thoughts, let me go to his final thoughts.
Why?
Also, this is gonna all be unscripted, so let's do this. Alright, so the first issue that I have with your final thoughts real quick is opinions are opinions.
Even doing this unscripted, why aren't you showing Blasty saying these? I mean, if these are Blasty's final thoughts, we should be showing Blasty saying these things, right?
Opinions are opinions. The sky is the sky.
My brain is dead. Wait.
Okay, so what you're trying to say to him is that, like, he's, like, treating, like, sun and moon like it's a fact. Which, by the way, no, he wasn't. He was actually stating that as an opinion. His opinion that he hates it. He didn't say anything for a fact of it. But you, on the other hand, feels like you try to put the freaking... You try to put sun and moon up there or something like that as a fact.
When did Blasty ever imply that sun and moon was good for a fact? Or even that Nintendo Guy's opinion was factually wrong? I mean, Blasty even questions whether Nintendo Guy knows what an opinion is.
Have you ever heard of an opinion, like?
Kind of giving the implication that Blasty thinks the Nintendo Guy is the one speaking about the anime as though it were factually bad. Yeah, big surprise. I knew that not from your video, but because I watched Blasty's final thoughts. You fucking scrub.
It feels like you're trying to give it so much praise or something. I mean, I know you said you think it's good and whatever or something like that. I mean, you could classify that as an opinion, but when you look through the, you know, your final thoughts, you can see what I mean.
No, we can't.
Okay, next thing is babyish script. Babyish script. Okay. Now, with the babyish script, I get where you're saying where he said that or something like that, but he only said that because there is some parts that are babyish script. And I'm gonna have to agree with him here. Because, well, for one, you tried to say TVY7 or something. Dude, did you know that can be classified as babyish, kinda?
7-year-olds are not babies!
And 12-year-olds shouldn't be exposed to porn like this.
Yeah, it's still catered to a younger audience.
Catering to a younger audience is different from being babyish. The former would mean it's okay for children to watch, but it's not just for them.
But, you know, they still try to, like, do something for even the, I don't know, the grown adults to enjoy. But dude, whatever you tried to, I don't know, why, wait a minute, why are you even arguing with this one? Whatever, I'm just gonna go to your next point.
I wonder if Sonic Ward ever thought as he was recording any of this that going off the cuff for this might have been a bad idea.
Why are you even arguing in an argumentation-based video style?
Too much complaints? Okay, too much complaints. Your point about too much complaints, okay. Okay, dude, okay. I'm sorry, but, that was kind of the point of the video, kinda. He tries to do a familiar style to the nostalgia critic, but he tried to go ahead and put his input onto the Pokemon Sun and Moon, and it's his opinion that he basically hates the style. He basically hates that stuff.
Blasty's criticism was that there were too many complaints for the style that Nintendo Guy was parroting. They directly stated that the Nostalgia Critic adds more to his videos, like explaining what goes in the content he reviews.
But from what I could see from him, he does not hate everything in the world. He actually says what's going on.
Blasty was saying that the video was too saturated with complaints.
Blasty even mentions that Nintendo Guy left out Team Skull's involvement to back this point up.
You never even mentioned that Team Skull's there. All you're like is, oh, something happened. I better whine about it.
Now, whether the Nostalgia Critic is known for leaving things out is not up to me, but for Nintendo Guy to try and mimic the Nostalgia Critic without really knowing how he works, kind of hampers the video.
So, basically he tried to go ahead and imply that. But you, on the other hand, you're just basically trying to defend it as hard as possible. But dude, let's just think for a second.
Except Blasty's defending of the anime wasn't even that heavy, especially going by your commentary. Hell, you got onto Blasty a lot for trying to make jokes regardless of whom they were about.
Psh, only fanboys make jokes, everybody knows that.
Like, let's just think for a second. You said you hate X and Y. Okay, cool.
Literally when? At most, they said no one cared for the anime for the Black and White series. They never said anything about the X and Y anime, nothing about hating it or loving it.
Even then, so what? His liking or disliking of whatever anime doesn't really affect his points.
Now, he hates Sun and Moon. Okay, cool. Okay, you don't have to agree with him. Like, you don't have to agree with whatever he says, okay? But it seems like you're treating it like it's a fact. Like, you're giving, like, you making him the enemy or something like that, because it feels like he's treating his stuff like facts. But in reality, he was treating it like it's an opinion.
What was Sonicward's statement earlier about repetition?
Also, and I probably should have said something about this earlier when this whole shit show about Blasty's final thoughts started, but what's with only using images that reflect the music of their respective series now? And here I was thinking that the worst we had for avatars thus far was you choosing to use borderline porn. I guess the fact that Sonicward changed from one lewd image to another every now and then was more indicative of the effort he put into the commentary then than he did here.
And also, let me actually break all your arguments together. That he said he thinks he was actually like he said he thinks he was gonna actually leave the Pokemon Sun and Moon, the Pokemon franchise after, you know, X and Y, because I guess Sun and Moon basically wasn't his cup of tea.
Have you ever had a dream that you could do him so much you could do anything?
What?
So it's not his cup of tea, so whatever. Okay, now the nostalgia critic one. I haven't understand his humor, but that's okay. Wait. So basically, you said that you haven't watched his stuff in a long time, but you only watched a little bit of it, but you didn't understand his humor or something like that. But guess what, though? You can also imply that to the Nintendo guy, because the Nintendo guy, on the other hand, was copying off the nostalgia critic style. He was actually critiquing some of the stuff. He was putting some input jokes into it, and he wasn't freaking repetitive with the stupid jokes.
Nostalgia Critic has plenty of running gags, both in individual reviews and overall. See his big-lipped alligator moments and Chuck Norris memes that spawn from his reviews. It's repetitious with a point, but you can still say it's repetitious. If I can also bring this up, repetition itself is not a bad thing. Repetition can be used to hammer in points, or, as with the critic examples recently listed, for comedic purposes. If repetition does not have a point, it becomes redundant, which is a problem, but the only thing you attempted to call repetitious was Blasty's attempts at humor, which had the point of trying to entertain, which meant it had a point. It failed to most, but that doesn't mean the repeated shit is a problem simply because it was repeated.
And in terms of the humor, even if you want to claim that Blasty wouldn't understand what was being said because he doesn't understand the humor the nostalgia critic uses, there's a very clear difference between the quality of jokes in the Nintendo Guy's videos and the nostalgia critic reviews. Just because Nintendo Guy chose to be inspired by and do a video in the image of the nostalgia critic doesn't mean he captured the same sort of humor.
He only did like two repetitive jokes. The end. Just two. Just two. You did so much. I wanna break everything.
How many did he do? I don't think I caught it.
What I want to know is how many times we were told this was repetitive. Pretty sure that hasn't been said before.
So, what I'm just saying right now to you is that you okay, alright, I'm gonna stop being mad.
No! I need to know what you were going to say! I need to know!
You might stop being mad, but we're still fucking livid.
Okay, now the last thing I just want to say, the last thing that you pointed out is this one. Hold on. Just because the formula changed doesn't mean the classic Pokemon isn't there. I mean, if that's what you tried to say. Okay, the Pokemon, the classic type. Okay, first I tried to see what you mean by that, but I guess I know what you mean.
Sadly, the rest of us will never know what Blasty meant. Alas, woe to the viewers of whom Sonicward refused the viewing of Blasty's endpoints. Oh, woe!
That Pokemon is still there, no matter how many times they change the formula. But guess what? This is actually somewhat their first time changing up the formula a bit.
Orange Islands, Battle Frontier, one could argue Black and White in regards to Team Rocket. This is not their first time deviating from what the Pokemon series tend to do. If you're referring to the games, maybe.
But I can ride a Scottish Terrier! That makes it different!
But even then, there's still similar stuff, like the Kahunas taking the place of gym leaders, there's a Pokemon League, etc.
Because now Sun and Moon basically have trials. They don't have gyms, they have trials. So basically though, it's different, and Ash goes to school. Okay, cool, he goes to school now.
Words are make different!
I actually did want Ash to go to school for like a long time and stuff, because you know that dude don't go to school. Now, but that's the thing though. His complaint wasn't just that, it was the whole thing in general, because you can't go to gym anymore. Like, you can't go to gyms anymore. You can't go to the champions and stuff like that, you know.
There is a champion in Pokemon Sun and Moon. I won't spoil who the champion is, but I can confirm that there is a champion. Gee, it's almost like this off-script bullshit is bullshit.
So they changed it up completely. Other people would prefer, you know, the original style. Make him still go to gyms. Make him still freaking have friends or whatever on his journey or whatever.
He still does. They're his classmates.
And stuff like that. But dude, again, that's our opinion, right? Okay. Now, let me go to the final thoughts.
Give us your first thought.
Then we'll see if you're allowed to have a final one.
Now, what do I think of this commentary?
I'm gonna be honest, I thought the unscripted part was his final thoughts. This shit caught me completely off guard.
I think this commentary kinda sucks.
Well, give it away. You're getting mad, you're going unscripted, you're using the most inappropriate pictures of Fanart that YouTube would allow.
Gotta get that boob revenue.
Let me tell you why. For starters, you basically rushed this video out.
Unscripted.
The audio balancing is okay, but when it comes to you trying to go ahead and audio balance with the Nintendo guy, your audio reaches to a whole new level. Here's an idea. Maybe you can just, I don't know, turn down his volume while you're audio dubbing. All the jokes you did were repetitive and pointless. You had that one little joke that actually worked with me, and that was fireworks. You actually nailed that perfectly.
Good thing we heard that joke, right?
Your freaking commentary, though. You kinda took his jokes too seriously, and boy, you need to do some research if you're going to counter his arguments.
So do I make the comment, or do I fap?
Even the sex-crazed Octomom is telling you to cool down, honey.
You were kinda putting your opinions as facts, and you know that's not a good idea. There's your criticism, man. Hope I covered the necessary spots.
Well, I didn't notice any nip slips, so I guess you did.
This is Supersonicward15 saying, keep running.
Keep fapping? Okay, got my answer.
I'd like to say I'm about burnt out, but woe is me, I am cursed with immaculate stamina. How you holding up, TP? Got any final thoughts in you?
No one in this video was good. No one. Nintendo guy tried very hard to act like the nostalgia critic, but very much failed on that by failing to really grasp why the nostalgia critic works. Yes, he can be nitpicky. Yes, he can miss a plot point. Yes, he can fuck his website so hard that the only person left is, like, what, Larry Buddy Jr.? But he also tries to give what he reviews a fair shake and criticizes them on things that he finds as faults by their own admission. You were mostly getting at the Sun and Moon anime for not being like the previous series when it wasn't trying to be. Blasty, this could have been a really easy video for you to cover if you actually spent more time trying to think about what you were going to say rather than on your editing, which, while it wasn't terrible, it was more distracting than anything else. And speaking of a really easy video to cover, Sonicward. You had not 1, but 2 degrees that you could have covered well, but you realize how much of what you said towards Blasty can be applied right back at you, right? The unscripted mess that implies laziness, the skip cards, not doing research, so on and so forth. I'm tired. Ponder, do you have any ideas?
The tits did not deserve this!
There you go. On to my channel.
Not before the fan art feature!
The what?
A featuring of the cutie pies who drew stuff for you. That's what I do on my channel.
But I don't...
Fan art feature! Firstly, we have an adorable Christmas theme pic by the equally adorable Yuki Goomba, and as a double surprise, we have another Christmas piece from Yuki. Double Christmas cuteness. Next up, there's some cute angry blushing, also known as the best kind, drawn by your sweet protector at Sullen Swordsman. Here's a super cute little TP Chibi by Rainne. Personally, I really like the vector style for this one. We've got TP done up like the prettiest witch you've ever done seen, drawn by the pretty in all their forms, KitsuneHawk. And finally we have TP shipped with an oncoming train by the sweet as a bean, George Racoon.
That's an official ship, by the way. I like trains.
Don't forget to check out MasterTP10's channel in the description for part 2, and for some Ponder Sprocket fan art drawn by you cuties featured there. Octomama out.